With the semester system, there are more students enrolling, there are more classes that are offered, and I also think the books are more pertinent to the courses. So the reluctance that you may have experienced during the quarter system, I just think that the scope changes in students' buying behavior. But it's hard to predict whether the two main buying periods added together will equate of the three previously. So if anything, I think it's very predictable there would be a little lapse in sales, but I can't really predict how substantial that would be at this point. Students buy books, especially in classes like theater classes. They buy the books as they need them. Certainly, I don't think that January semester is going to equate to what January quarter and March quarter was together. But I don't think it'll change our business patterns. We just have to adjust to whatever it is and budget accordingly. But it's up in the air, and so this is kind of a learning experience for us all, because I order every book in here, and it just changes my whole perspective. So I sort of get a free pass this first year just to see.
This year they started to notice that there were more students than usual who still had blocks left. That was shortly before Thanksgiving, and that prompted the process of looking at why that situation existed. Because this was a new plan, a new block plan, it also prompted an analysis of how it all fit together, and that's when the decision was made that what would be the right thing to do would be to do this refund. There was no legal obligation or no reason other than we felt it was important to do what was right for students, and since that plan obviously needed some tinkering, that the refund would be a nice way to say, hey, we hear you, we understand that this isn't a perfect situation, and we'll be happy to work with you.
Me and my roommates all took suitcases and went to the market over here and spent like 20 blocks. And just about anything that was there was all picked over because everyone was trying to get rid of their blocks, but we just grabbed anything we could. One of my roommates bought a whole pack of gum just because I bought a whole pack of M&Ms. It was just anything to get rid of them because I had like 175 or something left. So, and my one roommate made a reservation to Blackwell. She made 4 reservations to Blackwell, and now like we don't need to go anymore, so that sucks. But I don't know. I don't really mind as long as I get some money back.
So this summer I was working full-time interning. I was suggested by my counselors in order to graduate on time to try and take some online classes this summer. So I went in right before fall semester started, before we all got back to school, met with some counselors to try to figure out what my options were. Basically they told me because of my fall schedule and what it was, unless I was able to get into these certain classes before the start of the semester, which would have been in 2 weeks, then I would have to push my schedule further back. I talked to my friends, and at first they were all pretty shocked. They're like, why can't you take some classes concurrently? I've heard of kids doing this. So I actually went back to the counselor a second time. She told me that because I would not be fully completing Fisher's curriculum, that I would not be able to walk in the spring. It was definitely a little disheartening. You know, I'm surrounded, I grew up with all these great friends at Ohio State, being in a scholars program. We've all taken groups of classes together, so I'm gonna have to be at a distance on the sideline, not able to see my friends.